Good evening. A success against terrorism. The words of Belgium's prime minister after announcing a few hours ago that the only surviving attacker in November's terror attacks in Paris has been taken alive. 130 people died in that awful night last November when ISIS terrorists massacred concert-goers and patrons at a restaurant. All but one of the attackers were killed within days as the last slipped across the border into Belgium. And it was there, in a dramatic police raid today, that elusive suspect was shot and wounded and taken into custody. NBC's Keir Simmons has late details from Brussels.
Gunfire on a sidewalk. Special forces aim at a suspect. They drag him to a police car. He falls, then is bundled into the back. On a crowded street close by, people flee as more gunfire erupts. And live on Belgian television, an explosion. The dramatic police raids capturing Europe's most wanted terrorist, 26-year-old Salah Abdeslam, on the run since the Paris massacre, which killed 130 people. Tonight, President Obama called to congratulate Belgium's Prime Minister, who appeared with the French president, announcing the news. Abdeslam, one of 10 ISIS members identified by investigators as taking part in the Paris attacks, all now either died carrying them out, were killed or captured. He had been on the run from police for 4 months. The morning after the attacks, he's seen on surveillance video in northern France at a gas station. He caught a ride with friends, then making it through a border checkpoint and into Belgium. The manhunt accelerating when his suspected suicide vest was found abandoned in Paris later that month. Twice since, once in December and again Tuesday, prosecutors said his fingerprints had been found in raids in Brussels. And the key breakthrough was that Tuesday raid. In the Brussels neighborhood of Molenbeek, a suspect was shot dead. Abdeslam is thought to have slipped away. But finally tonight, police closed in on him. The top terror suspect who was able to avoid capture for so long, even in a major European capital, now potentially providing investigators with an intelligence goldmine.
This case is all about intelligence, the ability to look and see if there are other pending attacks or those that are in place right now. Additionally, they'll be looking at other co-conspirators. Who are other members of the organization?
Abdeslam was found in this neighborhood, just streets from his childhood home. Meanwhile, tonight, the French president saying there were many more people involved in the Paris attacks than was first thought. Lester?
Keir Simmons tonight in Belgium. Thanks. Our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, has covered this manhunt from Paris to Brussels and beyond. Richard, what do you make of this takedown?
Lester, I think the most revealing aspect of all of this is location. Why did he go back to his home neighborhood? And I think it reveals how isolated he was. You see, from ISIS's perspective, Abdeslam was a failure. The other attackers all died in the attack. And if you're an ISIS suicide commando, the group does not expect you to survive. He couldn't go to Syria now, having failed in this attack. He couldn't slip away back into ISIS-held territory. So he went back home, where he still had a network of friends and supporters who were able to shelter him. Perhaps the Belgian authorities should have been looking in the most obvious place all along. Lester.
And then the question, of course, what can he tell authorities? Richard, thank you.